Welcome to Climate Quickies, bite-sized nuggets of climate goodness from our TEDxLondon experts in under 5 minutes.
In this week's Climate Curious Quickie, we hear from a spokesperson at Fossil Free London, Robin Wells. Over to Robin to share why London wants oily money out. Stay curious.
My name's Robin, I'm from Fossil Free London, and we organise disruptive grassroots protest against the fossil fuel industry and those who fund it. Londoners sit at the heart of fossil fuel money and business, but we also, like people everywhere, want flourishing, happy lives with community connection, clean air, clean water, and good lives. And the fossil fuel industry is standing in the way of that, both in our present and our future. And as people so near the headquarters and champagne receptions of this industry, where they do their deals and do their business, it's incumbent upon us to take a stand against that and try and get oily money out of our city. People might not realise how many conferences and events take place here in our capital, in fancy places that many of us will probably never walk past, never mind go, in which deals are being made about fossil fuel projects all over the world, fossil fuel pipelines in Africa, dispossession of people from communities in South America. That's happening here in our city all the time. And at Fossil Free London, we research these events, we find out where they are, we go into them and we speak the truth about the climate crisis. Our next big campaign is Oily Money Out, and it is 3 days of blocking the Intercontinental Hotel in London, which will be hosting something which until very recently was called the Oil and Money Conference. It's an event for oil executives, including this year the CEO of Saudi Aramco, Total and Shell, to come together and do deals over oil and gas and really continue to delay climate action and obfuscate the impact that they're having while continuing new fossil fuel projects. Fossil Free London this year and last year shut down the Shell AGM, and we had splashes in the newspapers, and this year we made the front page of the Financial Times. If we can get the message that the people killing our planet are named individuals leading fossil fuel companies out into the mainstream media, out into popular conversation, then we will feel we've achieved our result, because it isn't you or me or your neighbour that is responsible for the crisis that we're facing. It is people who've made systematic decisions to suppress the evidence of the damage their products are doing and continue to pollute our political system to this day, and produce those things that are causing most damage and violence to people all over the world, while actively getting in the way of alternatives rising up to meet our energy needs and to nourish our communities. I got involved with climate campaigning when I went along to a climate action camp. I was somebody who was slightly concerned about climate change, but it didn't really make my heart sing. I wasn't really passionate about it. But I knew how important it was, as I think we all do. We just bury that feeling of how important it is. And I thought, look, I'm going to go along. I'm going to just see what it's like. And through meeting other people and forming connections and going to workshops and foraging and engaging with the land and nature and thinking about how we might block diggers or fossil fuel infrastructure, I actually found it incredibly exciting. And I haven't gone on to do those things particularly, but they pricked an awareness of actually how important connection with nature and the defence of nature is for us as animals. And then I stepped into doing movement organising, occupying land to prevent fossil fuel projects, and now into organising within London, within those hidden conference spaces where these deadly decisions are made. what gives me hope is seeing the other members of Fossil Free London, the dozens and dozens of us, and we're growing all the time, who are taking action to change our society and get oily money out of our city. It's just the greatest feeling to be surrounded by other people who care and also are turning that into action. I think it's a collective remedy to climate anxiety and climate grief, because otherwise what are you going to do with it? I think that's a very empowering process, and doing that alongside a lot of other people makes you feel very held and part of a collective. In terms of a climate confession, I think that the people who should be making climate confessions are the people whose events that we disrupt. Sadly, that's not going to be happening anytime soon. So it's up to us not to feel shame about things in our own life, but to take action and to make space in our life to force them out of power.
Thanks for listening to this quickie.
This episode was created by our superstar podcast team at TEDxLondon. Until next time,
Stay curious.